We're doing Live for Speed because it's awesome, and Motion Rig, and we have Schalke with us, same as ever, and we also have Dr. Realism, who for the first time is going to be doing a VR racing game. So there's going to be lots of ooh and ah, and oh, I've crashed because I wasn't paying attention.
Oh, thanks for confidence.
Oh man, okay. There we go. No, I don't think you understand. This happens to me.
Easy, VR.
It happens to me an awful lot in VR. Just ooh, ah, oh. I really wasn't paying attention to what I should have been paying attention to, and now I've crashed. Not crashed again, but just crashed my car. Cool. Oh, I need to join the race, I guess, and then hit go.
Right, better than switch the audio over.
Yeah.
I guess,
no, I need to get into the game. I need to fuck with stuff. Can you just start it? There we go. Right. Like options. So my VR. So I can't change. One of the controls you can't change is the key that resets the VR headset. Because why not?
the functionality is like more certain. It doesn't depend on keybinds.
Yeah, but force it. That's fine. There was an option, I'm sure, to say always reset view at the beginning of a race.
It's also advice is more reliable if the key is guaranteed to be the F12.
Yeah,
That's kind of long shot.
but they can just display what the current key is. The problem is, I have to hit F8 on the keyboard. My little fancy keyboard only goes up to F5 because it's not fancy enough for all of them. Maybe it was Project Cars that had the this option. Auto gear shift. No. Oh wait. When you say auto, you mean? I'm gonna leave that on a yes. Actually, I don't think that does what I think it does.
Yeah, there we go. Ooh.
So the problem is, I need to press F8 now because that's forwards for me. So I need to reach forward and press F8, but I need to reach forward and press F8 whilst my head in the right position. If I press F8 now, oh, I guess I can do that, and then that doesn't seem too bad. Now my car has stalled. Oh dear. Oopsie, I accidentally selected mouse control. There's still very few games that have excellent VR control. It's always a bit of a mishmash between. So I have a virtual cursor, and I can click on stuff, and the click button is spacebar. Right, brilliant. I also can't mess with the force feedback settings. Right, now one of these is probably start the engine. Options, controls, mouse wheel, buttons 2, ignition, wheel button 11. Yeah, I know what button that is. I actually have a button that will work as an ignition now.
Any ideas which of these I was supposed to use?
Which of what?
Tracking setup for the headset.
I don't understand the question, sorry. Options view.
Yeah. So you go view.
Hang on, wait.
Tracking setup. What one you've chosen?
Sorry, it wants me to press escape. View. VR headset is your option.
Yeah, I've done that.
Okay.
I've got the VR headset on.
Yeah, and then it'll pop up a thing going, use relative or use current position. I don't think I've ever spotted a difference between them.
Right. It's quite a bit high in the air for me, that's all.
Well, yeah, but get yourself in the right position, and then click the button, and that becomes your new home position.
I can't make the thing go up and down anymore.
No, like get to the right position. Like sit up in your seat, then just click with the mouse on the I accept this option. Yeah, forget what the menu is. Once you said this is where the home is, then you can close that menu and everything should hopefully be in the right place. He says.
I think so.
I think so.
Oh, I'll give it a go.
Why do I have a handbrake? I don't want... No, I want ignition. Button 3. I don't know which one button 3 is. Is that triangle?
Oh, great. That's my username. That's helpful of it, isn't it?
Oh, is that a fresh install?
No. I'll have to come out and do that. That's not that in 3D. Sorry. Copyright strike. Apologies.
I think that's fine. I didn't really want to start that. I just wanted to. It's sometimes it turns your car off. Wow, that is loud. Okay. So
it's supposed to wake me up. That's why some cunt keeps sending me bloody messages.
It's not me.
I do.
Right.
No, it's not you. Yeah, of course not. Yeah, I can't give a shit about the voicemail. Fuck off. Right, so, sorry.
Should be able to.
Please?
I don't know. My password is very easy to type in for that exact reason.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
So I've got a fancy new steering wheel with shift lights, and I've always wanted a steering wheel with shift lights, so now I've got one. That's the clutch. Only I can't see the shift lights because I've got a VR headset on. Oh yeah, that's not messing around. So the one thing this game does, and better than every other racing game we've played, is the mirrors are absolutely superb. And part of that is this game is old. It's quite low visual quality, and because of that he can render 3 more stereoscopic views, which is quite an ask. Project Cars, we can barely play the game as it is, let alone adding anything into it. I do have a handbrake though. I haven't tried it.
Torch.
Handbrake turn. Oh, that does work! Holy shit, I can actually drift in this game. So this game has very, very, very realistic physics. It's got no assists, no help. It's just doing proper fixed simulation. So that means when I drift, hey, that's awesome. Wrong car, but awesome nonetheless. Not a good thing to do in racing, obvs. Hey, more bits. Just incidentally, and I will repeat this a few times during the stream, if somebody wants to join in and play, this game is completely free. Create a username, create an account, come and join us. More the merrier. I think it supports 30 people. And I will happily teach you how to drive. You know, a bit. I'm so going in. Is it 9? Okay.
I would kind of random values on the internet quality.
It's the 3-letter password on the server.
That's what I thought.
And the game name is LockDown. So so I'm now not touching the steering wheel, and it's not doing anything. This game has excellent force feedback. It really does. It ends up oscillating, so it overcorrects itself. But this is a steering wheel that was. It's not. This steering was actually 50 quid cheaper than my old one at retail. I paid less than half a retail, But quite importantly, this steering wheel is 20 years newer than my old one. Not even exaggerating. So, it really makes a difference. Like, the difference this and my Driving Force Pro is night and day. It doesn't make me any better. It just feels nice. It's got a whole bunch of buttons. Oh, so when I put my handbrake on, it doesn't turn my handbrake on. So I have a handbrake lever. That flashes the light. Oh, cool. Oh, sorry, this is the wrong car. Yeah, I need to choose the other car. Look at me drifting like a pro. Not like a pro. Like someone who's got a handbrake fitted to their road car and keeps yanking it around corners. For the lols. Oopsie. That's a wall. But now the only thing I haven't got on is the Oculus overlay, which is actually very, very good. And I had that on in the Squadron stream, and that lets me see not only what my frame rate is, but how much performance I have free. So once you hit 60 frames a second, you have no idea in most games whether you can double the detail or whether or not the detail is just, that's it, you're as much as fast as your computer will do. Whereas in this game, in the Oculus, it shows you how much headroom, how much spare time you've got, which is really important. So the other thing is, the steering wheel, if I disable the motor, it's more or less free spinning. Whereas the other steering wheel, the motor and the gearing is a real pain, even when you are not putting any power through it.
There we go.
With LastPass, can you say, please make me a human memorable, human readable, human typable password? So you can say, please do it like that. It'll go, okay, your password is the big blue llama sat on the brown table. Or does it not have that? This is a question for Max.
I don't use LastPass.
Well, what particular one you use? Key safe. KeePass, yeah. Does it have the option for human? Does it have the option to create secure human readable passwords?
Don't know. I haven't tried to say. Oh, that's weird. Oh wow, that's makes it feel weird already.
What?
Okay, reaching for the sweets. Hold on.
So,
Don't question the wall.
I'm going to swap car. I'm going to find my escape key. So the first thing to make sure is you.
Good, I can see my legs now.
Right. So
mirror. Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, so this game's fairly low intensity. It really is, which is why I picked it. So I would recommend you choose the rear-wheel drive car, not for anything to do with the handling or anything like that, but because it has a frame counter built into the dash.
I've got a frame counter on my one.
On what?
On my little front-wheel drive thing.
No, you don't. Where?
So there's in the top right. I've got a frame counter going there.
What's your frame rate?
Top right. In the corner.
What's it? 90. All right, that's good. Okay, yeah, but there's one actually on the dashboard in.
It's looking between 90 and 89.
Okay, that's fine. But yeah, I suggest you take it carefully and slowly and work your way up.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to change. What was it? Oh yeah, is there any graphics detail I can squeeze out of this?
I fix my IPD. It's slightly off.
Yeah, I've never really. People get very, 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 very angry about IPD and stuff, and I'm like, I can't change it on this one. I haven't bothered. It's fine. It's just not something I really notice. Yeah, I'm hitting just under 70 frames, which is probably about right.
Oh, that's so weird and so wrong. You're not getting any feedback. I'm not.
Well, where are you?
Wow.
Are you just driving around our track?
Yes.
You are not in our session.
What's that?
No, you're not.
Driver? Did you? Oh yeah.
Oh,
Not on your setting, but certainly on your track. Oh, because you started a race, didn't you?
vote to start race. But yeah, it might be that you get on well with Tabletop Sim and you don't get on with this. It's entirely possible. I don't get on well with. I did vote to restart, by the way. Ah, there we go. I don't get on well with anything unless there's VR, unless I've motion. But this game in this car,
That's amazing.
yeah.
You can see it's graphically low, but bloody hell, it's good.
Yes, well, it's graphically low, but you can crank it up. So you can fiddle with the detail here as well. You can crank the anti-aliasing and everything right up. But yeah, just don't race. Don't race for the minute. Just follow me around. Just poodle around, nice and slow. Get used to it. Yeah, see, nice and slow, nice and gently, slowly and gently. Just gonna cruise around. I am V1 NYL. Hopefully, is my car blue as well? Yeah.
Weird.
So make sure you are in internal view. I just want to check, right? You've got your dash and your steering wheel. Okay, just check. Well, you can do bonnet view. Yes.
No, I've got my legs and not my arm. Yellow flag. Where's the yellow flag?
That's because Schalke's. Yeah, I bumped into Schalke.
This must be so much better on a motion platform. It still feels wrong.
It's weird. There's not much motion. It's very, very, very understated compared to Forza.
I mean, the thing is that in 2D, it's like you're watching someone else play the game and crash their car, whereas here it's you playing the game and you crashing the car. It's very much more personal experience than VR.
When I asked
Oh my God, it's different.
when I asked you very nicely not to ram me at the end of the race, it wasn't because I was being a wuss. It's not nice. It's really not nice. See, I could actually do a turning the super sampling up. And now, Oculus doesn't give you per game settings, but Steam does.
This isn't a Steam though, is it?
No, but like it uses one of the runtimes. But yeah, I've got my handbrake, so I can now go. Yeah, my handbrake's so cool. No, you don't want to. You don't want to do that. You really don't want to do. You want to acclimatise. After a while, 10 or 15 minutes, you will forget this is VR. That's the weird thing. After a while, your brain stops going, that's a bit odd, that's a bit odd. Just goes, yeah. It's only when you do something you shouldn't. For example, don't do jumps or ramps. Try not to roll it. Try not to crash it. Try not to have someone ram into you. That's never nice either.
You got the base checker and the motion platform going.
And the force feedback in the steering wheel. So if I hit the curbs, it's pretty good. Lots of cues, yeah. I mean, to be fair, the force feedback in the steering wheel is pretty good. The force feedback in Project Cars 2 is unbelievably detailed and really, really good. Like, I played Project Cars 1, then Project Cars 2, and the difference in the same steering wheel's responses was enormous. Oops, too fast.
Make it a bit more real, jiggle about the thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, honestly, after a while, you haven't done much in VR. I mean, basically, when you start to feel a bit weird, a bit warm, we'll stop. At that point, we'll go play Industry. What you don't want to do is keep trying, going, oh, I can get over this. Let your body cool off, let the effects go away, and then we'll just come back. Come out another day, and that is the best way.
Some settings you're saying would be good to fiddle with.
If you're at 90 frames a second, that's the most important one.
Okay, I can actually turn it up.
No, 99.
More display. Sleep physics weight. Right, okay, so it's a little display thing.
So the only other thing you can do is if you hit the left-hand not Windows key. You know the one I mean. It pops up the Steam overlay. I expect.
I'm not using those controls.
Yeah, but you've got them to hand. That's the only way you can get out of that menu. You can't do it via a pad.
I'm not doing it using a pad, I'm using Windows keyboard and mouse.
Okay. I will just repeat what I said again.
So
grab your left controller and hit the 3 lines button to pop up the Steam overlay. This is nothing you can do in game. It's something you have to do via the.
What? Well, Steam's not running, so how do you pop the Steam overlay?
I don't think you can do it any other way. So.
It is aggressive like that.
To be honest, it might actually be running. You'd be quite surprised how often SteamVR just quietly runs. Because you are running WMR, but I don't think WMR has settings for this. They basically piggyback on top of Steam. I mean, that's even more real than being hit with just VR. The only drawback, I'm strapped in, so there's not much leeway here. So I can't do a proper shoulder check. If you're not running SteamVR, then there might be a limit to what you can do. There might be some settings within Live for Speed, but there's nothing under the graphics. So what you want to do, the only option you've got is to crank up the scaler of the resolution. That's it. And that will get you less sparkle and more anti-aliasing. Wait! Other than that, there's not a lot of detail in Live for Speed. That's why you can run it at 90 with a high resolution scale. I mean, I'm running it at 72 because that's all this headset does, and it doesn't look as good as Project Cars, but runs so much better. And I'd much rather Project Cars looked a bit worse and ran like this. Yeah, bless it.
Okay, let's see what Steam can do for me then.
Well, if you press the button on the left controller and it doesn't pop anything up, then there's nothing you can do. It's not running through the OXR interface, Steam XR interface. Not the Windows button. Yeah.
No, I've got the home thing.
The shortcut to home.
What do you call it?
The blue box that pops up over the game.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I don't think you can do anything from that one. You say. You might be able to, but I'm pretty sure it's all via Steam. And I doubt this game has WMR support. But it might just be running through its own implementation of the OpenVR standard. That's why I like getting stuff on Steam, because it just works.
Yeah, crap.
But there isn't a lot. I mean, as long as I'm assuming you are running at a pretty good resolution anyway. Like, seeing this, there's not much in the way of sparklies. Hang on, let me just. I'm trying to find my. Did you hit the home button, the Windows button?
No, but I did hit something that made it go and go home.
Well, if you go to the overlay that you were at, that's fine. You're allowed to go in there and back out. You're not allowed to go to the cliff house. That closes whatever it is you're running.
Yeah,
Yeah, this doesn't seem to have an option for resolution scaler, which is a shame. I love that they have screen, graphics, view, and display. Those are pretty much just synonyms, lads.
I'm in the pits. It's nice to look round though. Wow.
Oh, you'll hit us a lot. You'll hit a lot less. I mean, as a driver in reality, you're used to just glancing left and right, or at least I hope you are. If you're a good driver in reality, you'll glance left and right. You'll use a wing mirror. You will have a lot less crashes in VR because it's the sort of thing you do. You don't just veer across 3 lanes on a motorway without checking. Yeah. Or you're an atrocious driver, and this will teach you to be a better driver in reality. One of the two. This handbrake is so cool, by the way. I love it. It is a total waste of time, but it is awesome.
Tell everyone how much it costs.
I can't remember now. I think it was 45 quid all in. Not even that, I don't think. But yeah, it's literally a very cheap, real hydro handbrake without the handbrake bit and an Arduino Leonardo in it. And I have to say, there is one aspect of the G2 I am not so impressed with, and that is the torch. So the torch only works in certain apps.
Oh, really?
Right. Wait till you come round to mine and you try the quest pass
I haven't
through.
used it before.
Yeah, the quest pass through is astounding, and
Very low quality.
and it
But
boggles.
enough to do what I need to do.
Yeah, but I can do
Black and
every.
white, very, very fuzzy.
Yeah, but you have to hold up the controllers. If I double tap my
Yeah.
but if I double tap my temple, I get a complete vision. It's grayscale still, but I get to see everything in stereo. There's depth. It's really good, and it surprises me that that one is worse because it's a software thing. There's no hardware you need at all for it.
Patch it later? They'll patch it.
Well,
it's clever that they're tucking the hand things and then doing that little bit in the hand, but you're saying you want all of it.
yeah, well that's
There's nowhere to pick up that sort of sensory input on these, is there?
yes, there is. That's the thing. You can do hand tracking on WMR. Yeah, you can do hand tracking on WMR. It's just that no, they haven't. Like, there's no hardware you've got that the Quest doesn't have. Like, you have better hardware in all aspects. The Quest just has better software. Yeah, Sharko, and you're in charge. If you wanna start a race, and we'll give it a whirl. The other thing, Max, is after.
Well, it's not fun for you.
What isn't sorry? We're qualifying.
Yeah,
That's-
that's
Seems a little pointless qualifying when there's only 3 of us, but sure, qualifying's cool. Yeah, the other thing is, Max, you will learn after a little while to stop treating it like a computer game and to treat it more like a real thing, like in cars, because as you know, doing something silly in the car doesn't feel good. That's why
You could result in death.
well, yeah, but in the game, you'll start to not.
This bit here, the undulation is like, oh, I'm expecting the sort of sink
Yeah.
down a bit and feel the
Yeah.
suspension pushing back up again a little bit, you know what I mean?
Yes, I mean,
I'm
my
not feeling that.
see, my platform won't do that either because I haven't got heave or sway or surge. I would have to upgrade to a 6-DOF to get those. I do get tilt, but this is pretty. Ooh, I got wrong gear. This is pretty minimal, like the movement. Forza is way too much, but if anything, this isn't enough.
Well, windscreen wipers are rusty.
Don't look at your windscreen wipers. Keep your eye on the road. Look where you want the car to go.
Fine, dude.
But yeah, now look in your rearview mirror.
Crush off into the side, though. Ugh! There's a nutter behind me.
Gently now, gently.
Wow, that's really. Mirrors do actually work like mirrors as well.
But yeah, in Project, wait till you play Project Cars, you'll be like, why are the mirrors shit in this? Why is this indie game got such better mirrors than the multi-million-dollar Project Cars?
The funny thing about this game is because I've got a helmet on in the
VS,
mirror,
it doesn't feel wrong.
the VR headset feels like you've got a
Because you got a helmet on. Yeah, I've seen people who've modded VR helmets into their helmet, VR headsets into their helmet. That makes sense. So you actually because they're people who but they're people who want to get the whole experience because they're trying to simulate being in a real race. I mean, a lot of them say they're off-season race drivers, where it's you race 3 months of the year, you do shakedowns.
You get into the right habit of grab the helmet, put your fireproof on, and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I think I've already got a fan blowing at me. I think I'd get a little hot if I had fireproofs on. Lots of people do wear gloves. If you're using a direct drive wheel, you will wear gloves because it will start to really, really chafe the skin. This steering wheel is quite pony.
What's a direct drive?
A direct drive.
With the steering wheel, and you fight the steering wheel.
Yeah, so there's no gearing. It's just direct power. So it's literally the spin.
As in a turntable.
Yeah. But we're talking motors weighing bloody hell 30 kilos. We're talking big motors. And then,
Washing machine motor sort of thing.
yes, that sort of thing. But not. But much more expensive. And then yes, they'll do 30-40 foot-pounds of torque, which you can't hold. If you try and hold that, you'll break a thumb. So you do end up having to wear gloves, but that is where you are practicing for driving. Yeah, but you'd be driving like an old Lotus or something like that. That sort of. If that's the sort of car you drive, one that's got very heavy steering, then you would practice on a direct drive wheel. This wheel's about 4 foot-pounds of torque, though I'm going to need to work out a way of making it stronger. This isn't doing anything. But unlike my old wheel, it doesn't oscillate all the way down the road. Qualifying over. Best lap 1:47.
151. Here comes Sharka. Yellow flag because Adam stopped parked in the middle of the track.
Well, yeah, we're done. But very weird this. There's not much motion on acceleration and braking. But I'm now sat on. Yeah, but my car, when I'm on a hill, the whole seat is backwards. Remember, don't skip the lights.
Successful start.
Wait, I can't see. Oh, there he is. I was like, I can't see you.
Look at my pedals. Rudimentary as it may be.
Yeah, it's odd.
But he died on the first turn. Yay.
I was expecting the force feedback. Like that is doing nothing on the platform. Just a sort of a jolt. There is a boost option, but that just seems to break things. There isn't like an exaggerate option. So I'm a little bit surprised that this is quite so poor. When I brake hard, it's not really doing anything. It's just juddering a little bit. Whereas Forza's motion telemetry is absolutely stupendous. Which is odd because they don't have VR. Which is a shame because it would be really good in VR. So you'll now begin to notice, Max, that the cockpits in this car are particularly poor. And I don't recommend you do it now, but maybe down the straight, have a look at the door handles on the inside.
My arm's in the way.
Yeah, well, when you go down the straight, you can just glance over. Or you can also look at the left-hand side one.
They're a bit flat, aren't
They are a little flat. Yeah, as I said, at the right time.
They're fine on the other side of the car. It's far enough away we not really notice that. Also, I'm not going to go down the straight staring at my door handles.
Well, you know, if as long as you're doing it right, there's nothing else to do. You're just looking. It's not about losing. It's about getting round in one piece.
Taking part. Very nice. More brakes, more brakes, more brakes.
So the thing that I can't... So I've played racing games for a very, very long time, and I've always been shit at them. Not in VR. In VR, I can judge braking distances, like, really well. So in 2D, I will overshoot every single corner. Every single corner I will take far, far too hot, and I will screw up. In VR, I can judge my distances much better, and I can really get a very much better feeling for how close I am to the inside and the outside. So I find that in VR my racing performance is massively improved, and it's not the game, because I've tried playing these games in 2D and it's suddenly I'm 10 times worse. So VR in this case really does help. And so I've just joined one of the Facebook group for my motion platform, and none of them are using VR. They're all using like triple screen 55-inch setups and stuff, and it's like, really? VR's a lot better. But lots of people saying, oh, I feel sick in VR, and therefore I haven't done it. I'm like, yeah, but you won't in the motion platform. VR is because you don't... VR sickness is where you don't have the motion you're expecting. So I would love to do some research into this, and I'm unfortunately I'm not in a position to do so. But, for example, you're sitting, Max, I assume, on a swivelly chair. You know, like an office chair. So you could buy a fairly cheap piston that could spin the office chair plus minus 10 degrees.
Yeah.
Is that enough to fool you? Is that all it needs? Do you just need a bass shaker? Do you need pitch? Is it only yaw? Is it roll? Like, what is the minimum you need to fool yourself into thinking you're not? You are in the car.
That's at least when you turn into a new product.
Well, yeah, I mean that's $1 million idea right there. A $100 solution that fits any office chair that stops you feeling sick in VR. Holy shit! Yeah, that's a product. Well, I'm feeling a little warm and sweaty in this, just a bit. But it is actually quite warm in here, which doesn't help.
A little headachy.
Shouldn't feel headachy. That's probably IPD.
I haven't had a lot of sleep.
Oh, well,
I did at half 1 yesterday and this morning. I got up at 7, same as normal.
Yeah, but we'll play this until you aren't feeling. Basically, you don't feel like you can continue, or you should continue. It's probably a better phrase. And then we'll say we'll go play Industry, which is the exact opposite of this game. But you do. There is a building up of tolerance. So if you do feel sick after 20 minutes, tomorrow you'll feel sick after 22 minutes, and then 24, and so on. We'll do.
Minecraft earlier.
Oh no! Oh my God, no! That one's awful.
You're walking around, felt a bit strange walking.
Yep. Yeah.
Sort of have everything sort of suddenly scoot away from you. But obviously that's what happened. Anymore.
I can't do locomotion at all. I have to teleport. Minecraft has a bunch. VR has a bunch of issues, and I slagged it off on my Facebook. Going, oh God, scrap. And I forgot that one of my mates, it's not done by Mojang, one of my mates works at Microsoft and he worked on it. So I had quite a long chat with what I didn't like about it. But I like stuff like the ladders, and then when you bring up the map, then you make the background go fuzzy and stuff like this. It's like, did you guys not test it? I don't understand. Slower, Max, slower. Come on, park up next to me a sec. Just like you would a real car. Yeah. Now you can see me, yeah? Look at me.
Yeah.
Are you looking at me? Am I looking at you?
Well, still parking.
No. Oh, all right then.
You are apparently. Yeah.
Alright, so I'm looking at you.
Hello.
Yeah. And now look at this.
Back your helmet. Yeah.
Yeah, it tracks my head. Not up and down. So if I headbang, it doesn't. But you can see if you're passing someone. You can see if they're looking at you. But you can't do a nod. In Elite Dangerous, you can see I keep trying to wave at people, so you do get used to. I mean, hand tracking could do that.
What controllers are you using?
I'm using a steering wheel, but you get used to being.
In Elite Dangerous.
In Elite Dangerous, I'm using the HOTAS, but you can see your hands.
Look at you.
Yeah, I do the same thing. But yeah, well, in the HOTAS, I take my hands off and wave. And obviously it doesn't work, the game doesn't support it, but that's where you don't need really good hand tracking, you just need vague hand tracking. So if you had vague hand tracking, you'd be able to wave at people. You don't need a lot of detail, just a little bit, and I would love to start seeing that in more games.
Yeah. I love Winter bikes, they're great.
How you feeling?
In agreement, but I'm going to win. I'm getting my ginger on now.
Yeah. Well, I can. Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is that when you get a bit ill, to stop and get better. These cars I can do for a couple of hours. These cars, the open wheelers, 2 races maybe, and then I'm like, okay, it's much more intense. I'd like to give it a bash just on the basis of I want to see how the motion platform acts. So in what's the word? What we're playing? Forza Horizons. In the motion platform, when I'm in like the Impreza or the Mini, there's not much motion, and then you get in a high-end Ferrari which can pull 1.5 Gs, and oh my god, then it's really. So you see what Schalke did? Avoid that.
Yeah, thanks.
Oh, careful. See, I can drive along, look in the rearview mirror, and I can use my peripheral vision to keep me going down the road, because the mirror's that good. It's a shame that they do patches and stuff for this game, but they could do with just a better lighting model, really, like a more modern one. And frame rate is important. This is why I keep coming back to this game. It feels good and it plays good. It doesn't look good, but being able to run at full. Yeah. Oh yeah, but like Project Cars is prettier and better, but I can't hit the frame rate.
Did you ever play what was the Virtua Driving, Virtua Racing?
Virtua Racing. Yeah, we got.
Steering wheel on pedals.
Yeah, we got Virtua Racing. Unless you've been hard.
It was all vector. It
Yeah, yeah.
Lots of lines, whatever. You have to,
Well,
use your brain to sort of imagine it.
well, Virtua Racing is a Sega game from 1991, I think, and at least that ran at 30 frames a second. Because I did remember Hard Driving from 1987, vector shaded graphics again. Yeah, that pulled about 12 frames a second.
Ooh. Why is the wind turbines facing the wrong way?
I'm wondering when the Virtual Boy games
Ooh,
are
that's not good.
coming back to
Incoming. Oh, boom.
Virtual Boy.
That's weird.
There are Virtual Boy emulators for VR headsets that are better than the Virtual Boy. Because the Virtual Boy, rotating mirror and a rotating lens to flicker the image between two eyes, and it was just arse. But there are plenty of emulators out there that emulate it for modern headsets.
I'm wondering whether the game program breaks when the game is designed with the works of the Virtual Boy in mind. A more abstract model.
Think of it more that the Virtual Boy was outputting a signal and the hardware didn't do a very good job of interpreting that signal. So if you put more modern hardware on, it's much more competent at interpreting that signal. So the same thing, when I said I played Red Dead on my Xbox, I played it on my Xbox One. I played the original Xbox, the OG Xbox version of Red Dead, but in 4K. So it was the same original game, and it hadn't been changed in any way, shape or form, just running on hugely more competent hardware. So the frame rate was much higher, the resolution was 4K, and it's that sort of thing.
But you're comment about feeling warm, by the way.
Yeah.
How much of that is attributed to
None.
VR sickness, and how much of that is attributed to just having a bit of
None.
warm, bit of sponge stuck to your face?
Honestly, it feels like... So I had this quite a long discussion with this with a guy who does VR games, and I had quite a long discussion, and he's like, oh, I want to put cooling in it, I'm getting warm, and I'm like, dude, you're not getting warm. So if you take the headset off now, don't, but if you take it off now and you touch the glass, right, which is the only bit that's going to get warm. The foam doesn't really get warm, that's you. If you touch the glass, it's not warm. And even if it was, between the glass and you are your glasses and half an inch of air. It's not radiating that much heat. So if you pop your hand on top of the headset, but like between your eyebrows, that's hot. Now this headset doesn't...
Mine's warm.
This headset doesn't get hot because this one has a cooling fan and really good cooling. Now the G2 gets hot, which I think might actually be a problem, but we'll see longer term. But this headset it gets barely warm. So this headset compared to the G2 has much better cooling. I'm warm. Now blowing a fan on you will help. I quite often when I'm in VR do blow a fan. Now, your point about having something strapped to your face, if you're doing Beat Saber, yeah, a bit, but not very much. I haven't seen any for sale for the G2 yet. I might get one. So, for my Rift, I've got the stock awful foam. It's awful. But as soon as I can be sure I buy the right thing off Amazon, my other headsets I had PU leather, which is much nicer, much less sweat absorbing. But it's something that I've seen time and time again, is people think it's the fact they've got something warm strapped to their face. If it is too warm, you've probably got it a little bit too tight. There is also that. That is a constant challenge, is getting it just warm and comfy on your face. Like if it was a
I just had it a little tighter than last night, because last night I kept having to tilt it down, tilt it up. I was getting some sort of weird effect. I think, okay, I'm just going to strap it a bit tighter, which I have, and it seems to have cleared that, so there's a bit of user error in there.
yes.
Oh, there's some clap. Was that the end of it?
That's the end of the race, yeah.
Yeah, everyone's clapping.
Yeah, see, I avoid doing that. If I actually spin the car out, and that's it, I've lost it, I usually close my eyes. Because, as I said, the thing about VR sickness is it's cumulative. One single thing won't make you feel sick. 20 things might. 100 things probably will. And I know which things...
That is weird.
Well, I know which things...
That's weird, turning and looking and having things turn properly.
Well, I know which things will make me go sick. If I'm about to see them, I'll close my eyes. So when Schalke rams me, I usually just close my eyes. Come on.
Like that.
Have you got the stream up, Schalke?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, I'm gonna... Okay, just just before we restart the race a second, Shalko, let me park part way down the straight, and I want you to sideswipe me, but watch the stream when you do it. I am really liking this handbrake. I feel like a proper drifter.
Sideswipe is with contact or without?
A T-bone. Does that make more sense?
No.
Okay, I'm going to park my car. I want you to ram it.
Okay, that makes sense.
But keep an eye on me in the motion platform. I have to be careful, so I actually have to be careful not to whack my knee on this. I need to get. I've got some foam, but it's too big. I'm just keeping an eye, waiting for you to come down. I could look on the radar.
Starting.
Full speed, please.
And I have broken my thing is. This is not going to be top ram speed.
This is the vehicle's top speed. Here he comes. That's really quite scary. Okay, and close my eyes. Oh yeah, that's really not very much compared to Forza. It's pretty much a nothing.
That was only 100 kilometers per hour.
Yeah.
But it's kind of mild setting this game.
Yeah, but it should be. I keep trying to. I don't need to restart. You can restart us. So should we do? We'll do one more. Then we'll do the open wheelers, and then we'll do pancake game. We have lost to Max. Yeah. So we have.
Reached some sort of limit there.
Oh yeah, you're actually done already. That's fine. That's fine. We'll do one race. We'll do one race in fast cars without Max, and then we'll go do a Mindustry then. Oh bugger. Well, that's very easy to quit the game without trying. Host not found on master server. Oh, there it is. You lied to me. Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay, so one high-speed race. But yeah, so Max, you will get better at it. And also, to a degree, a very weird. You'll also get worse at it because you'll start spotting. Yeah, quicker. But that just means you'll go. Oh, I'm feeling sick. I'm going to stop. I am going to stop now, which is good because it means you are increasing your tolerance. Star Trek Bridge Crew, on the other hand, you can play that all night long with no issue. Oh yeah, check. No, it's tolerance. It is tolerance. It's like building up muscles. It's a similar sort of thing. Oh. A little bit, yeah. I mean, a lot of it is about your brain realising, actually, this isn't an issue. I'm not actually being poisoned. I can't go to 5th gear. There we go. I couldn't get it into 5th.
The stream scene is very bumpy and lumpy. Is that partly the...
That's no. Honestly, look at the motion pack. Look at them. You can see in the bottom right. It's barely moving.
Yeah. There it is.
Whereas Forza,
When you accelerate.
yeah, it's a little bit. To be honest, it's one of the weird things. Because I can't see the motion, I can only feel it. Whereas in Forza, I can see the motion, and I think this motion is probably very much better matched to what's going on. So I don't notice it because it's so right. Whoa! This is, yes. But yeah, I mean, yeah, probably next time, Max, we'll maybe have a go at Project Cars 1 or 2, because they're very good, because you can do all sorts of different cars, and the Audi A8, whatever it is, the little one, it's quite laid back. But we'll probably try and make sure we cycle in one VR game a week, more so because we've got Malcolm and we've got Rob. Star Trek Bridge Crew is 100% no VR, and Henry, yes, and there's Mia. It's like here. When I do that, I expect to see my guy lift his hands off and do the same thing. But yeah, I don't think it's passing much cheap. Yes, oh, okay, a little bit. Whoa! Oh, buggeration.
But there's no deal damage model. I guess that's part of the reality.
Yeah, you can tear bits off the car. No, there's a really good damage model. What do you mean?
Yeah, but the driver doesn't see how screws.
Well, no, but I can see how screwed your car is. Incidentally, Max, if you can't do live for speed, trust me, do not try squadrons. No matter how much you want to, like, don't try flying in squadrons. Sit in the spaceship cockpit and look around in the hangar. That's very awesome. But it is another order of magnitude more icky than this.
Although I'm presuming you still use the Xbox controller.
Oh yeah, yes. Yes, because I use the HOTAS. Elite has surprised me. It's pretty good, but that might be the motion platform. I can't tell, because I haven't played it without the motion platform, and I don't intend to either.
There's a flame drive and flame shift drive that bounces you around.
Well, the only weird thing in Elite I found is when you hit auto docking, the AI slams you round, like really. I said in 2D you'd probably not notice. In VR you're like, what are you doing, AI? Drive properly. I am so pleased with the steering wheel, by the way. Really, just genuinely head and shoulders better than the other one.
I also like in Elite how the autopilot takes as well. So you're on
Yes.
days.
Well, if I was playing in Pancake, I suspect I'd find it differently. One of the things I like in Elite is sitting there, properly strapped into my chair. I mean, I am really strapped in, within VR, waiting for my turn. Just sit there going, awesome. And then when I take off, it's a weird thing, and I'll get it again in a moment, the extremely grounded feeling, at the end of an airplane flight when you take your seatbelt off. And it's the same thing when you stop in Elite Dangerous. You go, seatbelt off. I stretch a bit, get me luggage down. Okay, so we're going to stop the stream here, and then we're going to bring the stream back up again over there. So we're going to 2D. And yeah, we'll see you guys in a minute, and I hope you like the VR.